Hello, my name is Eunice Lawina, and I'm a coach at Exuba Sport for Development Uganda. I also coordinate Wakanda Girls Project, which is a menstrual health project, and also facilitate sexual reproductive health rights and life skills at the same project. Well, today with the workshop, we'll be discussing something very special, a message that everyone actually desires to hear because it affects everyone, young and old. This is mental health. So we'll start by defining mental health. What is it actually? Mental health refers to cognitive, behavioral, and emotional well-being. It is all about how we think, feel, and behave or act. This includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It also helps determine how we handle stress, how we relate to others, and make choices. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. Yeah, it's very important for all of us to actually know about mental health. Now, we all know that mental health has its problems as well. So, what are mental health problems, first of all? In many ways, mental health is just like physical health. Everybody has it, and we need to take care of it. Yeah, you heard me right. We need to take care of it. Mental health problems affect around 1 in 4 people in any given year. Okay, now that we've talked about the problems, what are the types of those problems of mental health? So one of them is anxiety and panic attacks, which is described as it's a normal emotion that we all experienced. Stressed, tense, worried, uneasy, or scared. Then there's bipolar disorder as well, which is a second problem. This one is described with mood disorder that can cause extreme periods of low and high moods. Depression being the third one. This is when someone experiences a low mood that lasts for a long time and affects their everyday life. Now, with depression, I've seen it happen in my life, and without speaking to someone, actually, we can't overgo through it. So, we need to have someone talk to us about it because if it affects us, it will ruin our day to day lives. That everything that you do will be affected by depression. So, yeah, we need it. And then there's eating disorders, which is weird because I didn't even know eating disorders was one of the types of mental health problems. Now this one is described by someone has unhealthy thoughts, feelings, and behavior around food. Obsessive compulsive disorder, which is another one, which is a diagnosis given to someone who experiences obsessive thoughts and compulsive behaviors. I've never seen that, but yeah, that's true too. Personality disorder. This one affects how a person copes with day to day life and manages relationships, as well as how they feel and behave. Then there is one that people always call PTSD, which the PTSD stands for post traumatic stress disorder. Now, with this one, it's a diagnosis given to people who develop a certain set of symptoms following a traumatic event. Yeah. The events might be a divorce between husband and wife, and this may affect one of the partners or the children. It might be a terrible accident. It may be death or loss of a loved one. So yeah, that could cause actually PTSD. Then there's psychosis. This one terms used to describe when a person perceives the world in a different way to those around them. Actually, with this one, I think we've seen those people around us, and sometimes it's hard for us to even know the kind of disability or describe them in a way because we don't know how to term them. But yeah, with psychosis, it describes that kind of person that perceives the world in a different way to those around them. Yeah. So self-harm, which is very common among the youth. Now, with self harm, it's when someone purposely hurts themselves. Like you cut your wrist, you do things that are life threatening, but you harming your body. The pain is actually in you. you're harming yourself. So yeah, that is very common amongst the youth because of the things they go through, the traumas and all that, the loneliness. I've had a friend who has gone through that because her parents, as they lived together, one of them died, and she actually died out of depression. So she harmed herself and she committed suicide. So when this child grew, she felt lonely because the dad doesn't work closely from home. He's always not available, he's not around, so she feels lonely and all that. So she started harming herself, cutting her wrists, wearing bangles or bracelets that like cause harm. And it's because of the friends that she had that she was able to be helped. So self-harm, this could actually lead to having suicidal feelings or thoughts. And we all know that with suicide, this is when someone intentionally takes their own life and can be very complex. So we need to really be careful because with suicide, it starts as something simple, but then people start thinking of ways of taking their lives, maybe stabbing themselves, or cutting their wrists to bleed to death, or shooting themselves, or climbing heights and falling, jumping off a cliff. So those are the things that we need to look out for. They are very, very important. Now, what is funny is this. I didn't know that actually mental health had myths because I had never thought of them. But with the community that I live in, I've had people say certain things under mental health. And now I come to realize that actually it has myths and facts as well. So I'll share some myths that I've heard of in my community. One of them is mental health problems do not affect me. Mental health problems affect everyone. That is a typical myth. Whether you're young or old, you're affected by it. You can't avoid it. And it happens in our communities, in our lives. Then children do not experience mental health problems. Actually, children do. I've seen kids who have experienced it. And if they weren't helped, it would have resulted to death. So yeah. There's also people saying that people with mental health problems are violent and unpredictable. They're actually not violent. I think the percentage would be 3 to 5% who would be violent, but normally they're usually not violent. So that's a myth. It's not a fact. And then the therapy and self-help are waste of time. Why bother when you just take a pill? Actually, without therapy, I don't think I would be able to be the kind of person that I am. I wouldn't be even able to share this with you. Therapy helped me a lot, so this is a myth. It's not a fact. And then the other one says people with mental health needs, even those who are managing their mental illness, cannot tolerate the stress of holding down a job. That is a myth. It is not a fact. So let's look at the facts. What are the facts about mental health? I'm sure you know them. Yeah, there's a few that I'm just going to share with you. One of them says mental health problems are actually very common, which is true. Africa, Europe, Asia, everywhere, there's there are problems of mental health, especially with these times that we're going through COVID-19. I'm sure all of us have gone through it in one way or the other. And then in 2014, about 1 in 10 young people experienced a period of major depression. So yeah, you see. The other one says every young child may show early warning signs of mental health concerns. Yeah, it's true actually. Them sitting by themselves, not talking, all those things are signs of mental health. So as we go through, there are lots of them. I'm sure as we are discussing, you can read through them at your own time since we've provided all the pamphlets for you guys. It says people with mental health problems are just as productive as other employees. Yes, that is very true. They are. Because, I mean, if we weren't productive, then I don't think we'd be able to share. Yeah. And then treatment, medication, and therapy are very important. Without them, I don't know. But yeah, for me, it worked for me, which it will work for you. So the signs and symptoms, you need to really watch and know when people are going through this. Excessive fear or uneasiness, there's mood changes, there's problems thinking, inability to concentrate, or problems with memory, thoughts, or speech that are hard to explain. There's sleep and appetite changes. Sometimes you can sleep sometimes you can't sleep. And then with appetite, sometimes when you're stressed, people overeat, sometimes you don't, and that would even lead to weight loss or weight gain. Then withdrawal, wanting to sit on your own, doing nothing for a long period of time. Yeah. And then the causes biology actually is one of them. There's also environmental exposure, there's genetics, there's life experiences, death, trauma, all those would cause mental health problems. Diagnosis, there's physical exam, you need to go for checkup as well. And then there's psychological evaluation. That also helps. Treatment, we just said medication and talking to a therapist. That helped me a lot. So, in conclusion, living with mental health illness, whether it affects you or a loved one, can be very hard, but help is available. If you suspect that you or someone you love may have a mental illness, talk to your doctor, who may refer you to a mental health professional for further assessment, evaluation, and treatment. You can also reach out directly to a psychotherapist. If you or loved ones are struggling with mental health, contact the Medical Health Services Administration with Exuba helpline, which are +256 781 322169, or you can visit our website, which is www.exuba.org. Thank you so much for listening to us, and I hope you enjoyed this session. Have a lovely day.